Holacracy is a disruptive technology in the same sense of, in the past, we've seen disruptive technologies like microcomputers versus mainframes. And we call a technology disruptive because it requires people to change behaviors and change patterns to adopt it. And Holacracy is true too. If we've got decades of experience working within a management hierarchy and processes and systems built on top of that management hierarchy, it is a disruptive move. It takes a lot of effort and patience to change all those systems to something new. But on the other side, we saw what happened to companies that didn't adopt microcomputer technology when that disruptive technology came. When a fundamentally more responsive, adaptive, better technology comes along, if you're not willing to make the leap and go through the process of changing your systems, you will be disrupted. And that's true with Holacracy, I think, as well, and other new forms of organizing. We need more responsive organizations. If you don't make the leap and step consciously into the disruption will ultimately, eventually find you. I think the challenge with a disruptive technology like Holacracy, because it requires changing behaviors and changing patterns, at first it feels unnatural. It's like learning a new sport. You first get out on the field, you don't feel like an athlete. You know, you're learning moves and rules and patterns. It's just hard. And those rules might seem alien at first, but like a good athlete, once you get used to it, the rules fade to the background. When you watch a pro soccer team, you don't see a bunch of people stumbling over rules, you see fluid movement within the rules. And that's true with Holacracy as well. So at first, it's awkward, like any new practice will be. But with practice, it gets very fluid, it gets very comfortable. And in fact, ideally more so than what you came from before, or it wouldn't be worth the effort to switch. And that's what we hear from companies doing Holacracy. Once they go through the initial learning curve, the speed and pace and fluid change is really dramatic. I think there are many ways to jump into Holacracy. Some of them are more likely to succeed than others. You can go the do-it-yourself route, which smaller companies have been able to do fairly successfully with some minimal support. Either picking up a book and reading it, or online resources, or at least sending someone to a training. I think the larger the company is, or the more complex, the more difficult that approach is, or the lower your odds are of succeeding. What a lot of companies do is instead use a coach, just like learning a new sport. It's helpful to be on the field with somebody who's played the game before, knows what they're doing, and can kind of coach you as you play the game. So a lot of companies are using coaching-based approaches to this, which I think works a lot better than just a single upfront training, you know, because you actually get somebody there playing the game with you, learning this new practice, you know, hands-on while you do it. Tends to work a lot better than just theoretical book learning. So I definitely see coaching as a way of improving odds of success with this. But again, there are lots of different ways of stepping into this depending on the budgets, the needs of the company, and the risk tolerance.